All right.
You didn't do an inspection?
No, I did not.
Okay, I guess we could do this raw.
Yeah, we're going to talk right into them.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we're going to do something a little bit different today.
Like holding these things.
Yours is upside down.
Mine's upside down. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. That's so funny. So what we're going to talk about today, and I just clicked mine. I don't know what I clicked it to. I clicked it. Now it's green. Now it's blue.
Blue. We're good.
Okay. Okay, we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're going to talk about our home building experiences and why you should have an agent when you are building a home.
Yes. There's a lot of them.
There's a ton of them. So there's 3 different ways to build a house with a builder. So the first way is kind of interesting. They call them spec homes. So what is spec short for? Do you know what spec
I
is
don't even
short
know
for?
what spec is short for, but it's just,
Yeah.
you get what you get. It's a brand new home. You don't get to pick out any of your custom touches or anything, which actually is nice in some aspects.
It is. Takes a little bit of the stress out of the process.
And timely.
Yeah.
Because it's typically move-in ready.
Move-in ready, or close to.
Yeah. Not this current home, but the last one that I purchased was a spec home. And basically at the point when I jumped in, they just needed to put the light fixtures in, or maybe even just the light bulbs and the faucets. So
Yeah. Like
it
the
was
very
kinda
finishing
nice.
touches.
It was
Yeah.
brand new home. Didn't have to wait on anything. It was ready to go.
I love that. Another option. Oh, I won't leave you hanging. Speculation. Speculation is what spec is short for. So they are speculating that it will sell. I know that's kind of a funny way. That's how I remember it. Yeah, but spec home is speculation. Or no, you know what? I could be wrong. Like, what do you call it? Spec. Like the specs. When you say the specs on like a computer.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
are getting
the
some real time
details.
brain. Yeah.
Yep, details.
That's probably more like rather than speculation. But that's what
That's how you remember it.
Yeah, that's always how I remember it. So the second way is a partial spec or partial custom home. It's called a lot of different things, but where you come in and you pick out different aspects of the home, you have some options and choices, which is what I did, but it's not full custom.
So that would be like if I went into
Yeah.
a home and I wanted white cabinets, that means I get this color of floor, this color of wall, right?
Yeah, there's different ways that it's done, but you do get some choices and some options. You can even pick out the home plan, but it's limited. You don't have the whole wide range of whatever tile you could possibly want.
Means you don't get to go to floor and
yeah.
decor.
Nope. I love floor and decor. It's like one of my
But it's
favorite
less
places.
options, so
It's
better
less
in some
options.
ways.
Yes, because I mean, if you have too many options, it's hard to make a decision.
I still remember when Jordan called me and he's like, "Hey, what color do you want your door hinges?" I'm like, "My what?" I didn't even know that was an option.
The things you have to think about, like
Yeah.
the decisions
I'm like,
you have to
just make it look good.
So that's what I did, is the partial custom, partial spec, different ways that they say it. Kaelee, on the other hand, did full custom.
Yep.
So-
I didn't pick out my floor plan because I had an opportunity to, and we were like, no, we're not going to build. And then my builder came to me and he's like, hey, look, we've got these plans approved on your lot. Do you want this house? And then we jumped in, which I think was a little easier because I would have drove myself crazy with trying to pick out the floor plan too.
Exacting
Because
to what you
now
want.
I can just blame Jordan if I don't like anything in my house as far as flow.
Yes.
I would have died if I would have designed it and then been like, oh my gosh, I hate XYZ about my house. So
Yeah.
it's a little easier.
It's true. I had some options for customization that I did in mind that I like. I wish I would have spent money in different ways. I wish I would have been more okay with spending money. That, as weird as that sounds, because
Where an agent comes in.
yeah, exactly. Like reasoning it out. I did reason it out in some ways, but in other ways I did not. So.
Yeah, it was nice. I remember my builder, I would say, oh, I want this. And he's like, okay, but think about resale. Yes, you're building your house for you, but think about this and this. And it's nice to have someone that's not going to be living in the home give your opinion or their opinion on your situation.
Yeah. Like it gives you a little bit impartiality on it.
Yep.
Yeah. I
So
just want to make sure that our
full
little
custom.
sticky note here is not
In the
sticking in the picture.
So full custom is you literally get to pick everything. So the paint, if you're doing one tone or two tone, your cabinets, door hinges, handles, faucets, where you're putting your lights and where you're putting your plugs.
Yeah.
You
pick
literally get to
everything
choose
out.
everything, which is a little overwhelming. It was really cool, and I'm so glad I got to go through that experience, because now we have different perspectives on it, and now when we have a building experience, we get to help them through it a little bit more because we have that experience now.
Oh, yeah. Another big difference between our two situations is I was not a real estate agent, and I did not use a realtor to help me in the build process. I'm looking at her
sticky note here on the experience she had, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did you not have an agent? But I'm just going to pull it off of here because it's...
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, I told the secret. We have a sticky note.
Yeah, I have a sticky note. But yeah. I know. And so honestly, my build and the difficulties I had in it is part of the reason I became a realtor, because I didn't know what I could demand, what I could, what should have been fixed, what should have been done. And we'll go into it a little bit further. So Kaelee, do you want to go over custom home building, like why you need an agent for custom home building?
I think it goes back to the sounding board for sure. And then in any building situation, I think you should have an agent, because of what you just touched on is we know what we can say, hey, no, builder, you need to fix this. And it's not that builders are being shady. It's just sometimes things can get overlooked, especially if they're building 40 to 50 homes. Yeah. And so an agent, we're going to come in just like we do when we show a home, and we're going to be like, something looks funky here. We got to fix that. Or why is there a crack here? Okay, we need to have someone come in and fix that. Where typically most buyers, when you're even seeing a home, you're just going to go in and be like, yeah, my couch looks good there, and I'm going to get this this decor, and I'm going to put it on this wall. Where we're going to be more focusing on the condition of the home. Is that the answer you were looking for?
Yeah.
We're totally winging this, you guys.
Yeah. Well, for me, I have this whole big laundry list of items.
The biggest thing, inspection.
Yes.
Even though it's brand new, we're always going to do an inspection.
Every
time.
One
of the interesting things on my current home that we found with the inspection, thankfully it was a rainy day, which new construction is nice because you've got a 1-year warranty. So even if we would have had this issue after, the builder would have still came back to fix it. But we were moving stuff in, and no, it was during the inspection. My inspector was like, hey, is it a weep hole? Weep holes
on your on your windows.
Yeah, on the outside, there's a little, you got to punch it, usually from the manufacturer. They're punched out. But yeah, that wasn't punched out. And so when we did move in and it was raining, my inspector pointed it out, but I didn't get it fixed. At that moment, I was like, oh no, because it started flooding into my brand new master bedroom. So we were able to get towels and everything, and then my builder came out immediately and took care of that. Yep. Yeah. But if you didn't have an agent, you would have been like, oh no, I have to deal with this. Yeah. And we do a really good with staying in touch with you after, like, hey, how'd the move go? And you could be like, dude, my window's leaking. And we'd be like, oh, get that builder out there.
Heck yeah, every time.
Yeah.
So that's a prime example. So there was a lot of issues that I discovered after the fact that I did not know that I should have had the builder fix. So I'm just going to go through my long list of...
It's not too long.
It's massive, I feel like. So I'm going to start in my master bathroom because guess what? I feel like I spend a lot of time, like that's my relaxing place. That's my sanctuary. And sometimes when I see these things in my relaxing place in my sanctuary, I still feel a little angry. So in my master bathroom, one thing that I wasn't told about is Schluter. Does anybody know what Schluter is? If you do know, put it in the comments. Tell us if you know what Schluter is. If you don't, I didn't know either. So Schluter is a little metal piece that goes alongside the outside of the tile edge so that it looks nice and clean and fresh and finished. I'll be honest, I thought I would have like a bullnose or a rolled edge tile that would automatically be selected with the tile that I selected that would match. Like, you know, how tile works is they have different sizes, and then even some have the different finish edge pieces. I assumed that the tile all around my bathtub, my shower, everything would have this finished edge. Not necessarily the Schluter. I would prefer the Schluter given the option.
Yes.
Apparently, that's an upgrade I was not told about. So we're in our house about a week. I'm fixing my hair, and I see in the mirror behind me, I can see. I know, but along my bathroom, along the top of my bathtub, I can see the orange terracotta color of the tile where the tile was cut along the edge of my gray tile. There's nothing in my house that's orange. This terracotta sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah, I can paint it. I haven't yet. Obviously, it's on the list. But that's something that was never communicated to me, something I didn't catch because I didn't have an inspection. And the agent was really nice, but that's not her job to look out for that. Like, what it would have required is the builder taking out the freaking tile and redoing it. And you know what? Now I would insist because it looks ugly. It's so ugly. It drives me nuts.
That is something I always point out to
Yeah.
folks. And I didn't know that was a thing either until I stayed at a newer home, like an Airbnb. And I was like, wait, why does that not look finished? And then I dug deeper into it. And yeah, it just looks unfinished because if you look, like some of the tiles, yes, you've got a full tile, so it's white if it's white tile. But then, you have that orange cut in the...
Oh, my gosh.
It's terrible.
It looks awful.
Yes.
So that's the first thing that I noticed wrong with my house. The second thing is on the tub insert inset in my master bathroom, there was this little piece of adhesive from the wrapping that was around the tub.
Yeah.
This, I know it sounds petty. It is on the front edge of my tub, and it's now discolored and orange, and it's hardened to cement. So I have this hardened cement piece of orange adhesive that is attached to the front of my tub.
Tile.
I know.
So now you do have orange.
Literally. And then I'm like, oh, am I going to make the builder rip this all out, rip out this whole thing? Like, they need to find a way to get this fixed. Like, absolutely, they should have. And I didn't know, because it's a brand new house. Not everything's going to be exactly perfect. Those two things should 100% have been rectified.
And the nice thing about bringing that to the builder's attention is they already have everyone lined up. And if it's in a subdivision, the tile guy or whoever needs to do the job is only 2 houses down. So it's easy to have them come over and do it rather than you as the homeowner trying to find who does
somebody
that job.
Who could even do that.
And little jobs like that, because it is little.
Yeah.
Those little jobs like that, it's so hard to find someone to come out and do it.
come out and do it.
So it's easier just to
100%.
do it from the beginning.
So along that same lines, my main bathroom that all of my guests use, the tub. I don't know if anybody's ever swiped open my curtain. Probably not. I don't do that in other people's houses. But if you did, you would see multiple chips in the cast iron tub. Yeah. That was done probably by the same freaking stupid tile company that did the tile that is
Like
not, the tile's not even even. Yeah, it's along the edge, the flat edge. So I have multiple chips in there. We did notice that in our walkthrough, our blue tape walkthrough. But she said, the builder's agent said, oh yeah, we have a guy come through and he'll fix them all at once. I'll make a note that your house is on the line, has a need to come and fix this. It'll be fixed. We never got the call of like, hey, can you let the tub guy in? Or, hey, we're ready to do the tub thing. And I did email and follow up at one point in time. And, we haven't got him coming out yet. Or I don't even remember if we even heard back on it. And I didn't push on it because I was meek and I didn't know that I could. Yeah. Like, so that's another thing that's really irritating.
And as an agent, we can do that. We've actually had some of our clients reach out to us and like, hey, because they're a little more timid. They're not
you don't want to be a pain in the butt.
They want us to have their voice. Yeah. And even after closing, we are here for you. And so we would be like, hey, builder, get on this. Like, we need to get this done. Yeah. And then because that builder has an opportunity to work with us in the future, they want to do a good job. Yeah. And they want to know that something's wrong with their product because I would say 95% of those builders out there, they care about their product and want to come back and fix it. But if the owner doesn't, I should probably have this up here. If the the owner doesn't say anything, then they can't come back and fix it.
100%. And you don't know what's reasonable to ask or not. Yep. I thought I would be totally out of line by asking for the things that needed to be fixed, and I'm not.
Not at all.
So the next thing, you're going to laugh at this, Kaelee. So this is the closet door in what is now my studio in the basement.
Yeah.
I actually have 2 doors that don't fit properly on the closets in the basement. But this one in particular was not finished. So
not painted.
It had to be shaved to fit perfectly, and then it had to be filled with putty, sanded, and painted still. The putty guy was in filling it. We moved in. So we get our keys. We open the door. We're starting to move things in. We come downstairs, and this guy that probably doesn't speak English is like shocked that we're there, and he just like runs out of the house. And I was like, oh, well, he's obviously going to tell the builder, and they'll schedule a time to come back and fix it. Do you think that happened?
Probably not.
Do you know who still has orange putty all over the bedroom door
guess what? I didn't
there?
notice it.
You didn't notice it?
Nope.
I notice it
Surprised
every time I'm down there. It drives me crazy. Why is it always orange? It's orange putty. Okay. So that was another thing. And then this, I honestly can't say that I had noticed in the walkthrough because I didn't. So there's always the potential that this happened when we were moving in, but it's in a place that it doesn't make any sense for it to have happened when we were moving in. So in my basement bathroom, there's a, not plexiglass, a fiberglass tub all-in-one surround, right? In one of the top corners. So nice to clean. Don't use harsh, scrubby things or acids on them because that ruins the finish, but they are so easy to clean. There is a hole punched in it. Like it's not like a round hole, but it's like something got knocked into it and it's fiberglass, so it has like that certain texture. There's a hole in it. And I noticed probably a month after we moved in. And I was like, what the hell? And that if that happened while we were moving in, and I kind of don't doubt it because just looking at my tub situation, it probably did happen. And whoever was installing it probably knew it had happened.
And then it didn't get passed
down the line. And like, I didn't have proof of it beforehand. Like, and that's not something I was looking out for. Now as an agent, I'm like,
as with your inspection, not only are they good because they point out everything, but you have a photo of referencing back.
Yes, it's
an
perfect
inspector
for that.
is hired to go through and find everything wrong with it. That's why they're typically 80 to 140 pages.
Yeah,
is because they're full of photos, and so you can refer back to that, and you could have said, "Oh, hey, here's this," and our inspector would have said, "Hey, you've got a hole here, fix it." So.
Put a new surround in.
We've actually
put
had
new tile in,
one
put a
where
new tub in.
They had a relaxing
pillow
on the back.
My gosh.
And then you lift that up and it's broke, just like she's saying.
Yes.
But that's in the bottom of the tub.
Yeah.
So anytime you filled it up, it was leaking underneath.
Yeah.
Inspector found that one.
Inspectors, that's another thing. So I didn't have an inspection. I didn't know that I could have inspection or should have had an inspection. And here's another not horror story. But this is another example of why you should have an inspection done on a new construction home. I had one just 2 years ago. I can't even remember how long ago it was, but it was pretty recent.
I'll see if I can remember.
We had clients who were building this newer home, and when we go through the inspection, the plumbing vent pipes weren't hooked up to the roof vents that they were supposed to go out of. So, like, it was offset by about this much. You had the vent coming down from the roof system, and you had the plumbing vents coming up from the inside of the house. They needed to be connected so that it could vent the rest of the way out of the house. Like, the fact that that wasn't finished, and of course, it's just pure oversight. Like, nobody, like, the plumbers are getting it. Like, but they wouldn't know if they didn't have an inspection. Another thing in this exact same house, okay, there was 2 hatches to the attic because the way the house was set up, the attics are 2 different sections, right? So it turns out all of the space above the master wing of the house did not have any insulation in the attic. Something we would not have known had we not done an inspection. And it was simply if the company that did the insulation didn't know that there was another hatch they needed to get to fill up the rest. So the inspection is so important. And we hear about sewer scopes all the time. We've heard multiple situations where the builder's tradesmen didn't hook up the sewer line for the house into the sewer.
Thankfully, we have not run into that.
We haven't run into that yet.
That would be a real situation.
That's when you find out, is because you've got shit coming into your house. Okay, that's how you find that out. That's why you need a sewer scope for most houses. You should have a sewer scope. And now that we've heard that enough times, I'm like, we need sewer scopes, guys. So I'm only halfway done with my list, Kaelee.
Speed it up.
I know.
Talk
Okay.
fast.
All right. So no inspection. Oh, along with the no inspection, our master shower head was clogged with construction debris. So
it's also common to have your the ducting in your house like full of debris too.
Construction debris, yeah.
Well, like not even like McDonald's wrappers and stuff.
Yes,
it's been found.
Sometimes like
as
tradesmen aren't.
Thankfully, not us.
Yeah,
but there was poop in one too.
Oh my god!
Like a bag of Anyway,
all right. So it's rough. It's rough. I'm moving in. We're all hot and sweaty after moving in for 2 days, and I am high energy. Yeah, I needed a shower so bad, and I was so tired. And I get in there, and it's this little trickle, and oh my gosh, I lost my shit. James was downstairs with his buddies setting up their game room stuff, and I come down in my towel, and I am losing my shit. I'm like, fix it. Make my brand new shower work. James, thank God, is just a saint. Like, we'll get it fixed. Don't worry. And he went and fixed it for me. But it was all clogged. He had to take the shower head off and clear it out. Inspection would have freaking caught that. I would not have had that bad memory of the first night in my new house. We were promised slow close drawers and cabinets. Kaelee, is there slow close drawers and cabinets in my house? Not a single one.
And I slam them every time.
Not you.
But guess what?
James, I love you, but he slams drawers and cupboards like you wouldn't goddamn believe.
Well, it's also interesting because I had that scenario too happen in my house. I was in my master and Luke was in there just playing with the drawers. And I'm like, took me a few times of hearing the slamming. And I'm like, wait, what? And I walk out there and I do the whole test to see. And I actually had to go back to, and because I knew that this was a thing to go back to, they had to come back and take everything out and install everything and put it on there. And because I made sure it was in the notes when we first met, which because I have the agent mindset, they didn't charge me for them, but because I had the invoice that said yes, soft close, they had to eat that cost and they had to pay for more labor because they had to come back and fix that. So yeah.
Like if you've organized it in the way that you are going to get these things, we are going to make sure you get what you paid for. We're going to make sure you get what you were promised. Yes, 100%. And then so this is I've left off the big things.
Jesse wants
honestly,
a swimming pool. Apparently, it's coming to her. It's trying.
Okay, so we moved in January. The spring melt happened, and on all 4 corners of my house, because my house is a big square. All 4 corners of my house, a 5-foot deep hole opened up where the water was just going straight down. That's water against my foundation. And this happened year after year for about 5 years. We would fill these holes in and new holes would open up every spring with this spring runoff of the snow melting off the top of my house. Can you imagine how scary that is and how frustrating that is?
And you didn't have any water in your basement.
Luckily, we haven't had any water in our basement. Usually you do. Like
Yeah,
now I'm
especially with
like,
all 4
feel so
corners.
grateful. Yes. But so here's the thing. The tradesman who's in charge of the recompacting the lot after the foundation is poured did not properly compact my lot. That is something the builder should have addressed. And when we brought it up to them, we filed a warranty claim. Their website, because you have to file a warranty claim through their website, doesn't send you a confirmation email. Doesn't have any way to confirm that we sent in a warranty claim. So we're waiting and waiting and waiting to hear back on this. And I'm just a nice, calm person. I was. And I didn't push it. And you know how life just like gets ahead of you. You're like, oh yeah, I submitted that. Check that off my list. I'll come back to it. Next thing I know, our whole year is up, or we're coming up on our year, and I'm following up, and they're like, you should have put grass in. That would have fixed the problem. Are you kidding me? A 5-foot deep, 6-foot wide hole no, absolutely not. That's not, grass would not have fixed that. So, and it's actually a continuing issue in our development. We've actually got houses in our development that's suing the builder currently right now because of the compaction issues. So that's something to look out for and to have somebody to advocate for us.
Yep.
I would, like, this has happened to me. I'm not going to fucking let it happen to you. Excuse my language, but I'm not going to let it happen to you.
Better blip that out.
Yeah. Beep. All right. And this next
We're going this raw recording so she doesn't have editing, and then she's making more editing for her.
I'm going to have to edit more. Okay. So the next thing is, so on our building plans, the AC was on the south side of the house. I honestly don't know what the situation is, if you're supposed to or not supposed to have an AC on the south side of the house. I don't care. The plans had the AC on the south side of the house. We took a window out of the north side of the house in the basement so that we could pour a driveway that goes all the way, because there's only a 10-foot deep space between our lot line and our house. We were going to pour a driveway to go all the way from the front to the back so we could access our backyard on the only side that you could fit a car on to access the backyard. They put the AC on that side of the house. We discovered right after they put the AC in, before, like, it would have been expensive, but we could have had things changed, and we did not. I mean, it wouldn't even be that expensive because now I know that you can move it, and we will have it moved eventually. It's just not in the cards right now. But we took out a whole window in order to facilitate this driveway from the front to the back, and it can't happen until we make other edits to the AC system because of that. So if I was the agent and that was brought up to me, I'd be like, hell no, fix that right now. And then no professional advice. So I didn't have advice about a lot of the things like the flooring in my house. So the flooring in my house is one of my biggest gripes. I hate my carpet because it was cheap and it's worn down and it was a long pile, and nobody was ever like, hey, this is a bad idea because it's going to look like crap in 3 years. And then the hard flooring is not waterproof in the slightest.
And it's all through your kitchen.
All through my kitchen, all through the main floor of my house. Luckily, not in any bathrooms. Yeah. But it is so temperamental that a Nazi if you drop anything, spill anything in my house. I'm like, clean it up right now because it will bubble up my floor. And I should have done my own research, of course, but as a professional, I feel like their design center person should have been like, okay, just so you know, you're a young family, these things may happen to your floor. You're going to have dogs, they're going to pee. If you don't catch it right away, the floor is going to be bubbled up and it's pee that's causing it to bubble up. And water. Yeah.
I fell in this too. So one of my tips when building a home is anywhere your dogs are going to be or by the bathtub, instead of doing the wood trim, step it up, do some tile.
Yeah.
Because I already
100%.
in my brand new, it's not even brand new anymore. Time flies. In my newer home, in my laundry room where my dog's water is, we've had to take that out because it just bubbled and started molding.
Wood absorbs water.
Yep.
So like that's the thing. I would go LVP all the way, but nobody told me. Nobody told me. So that's my long list. There's other little grievances, but
those are the main items.
So, Kaelee, I have a very important question for you now.
I don't know what it is.
When should you get an outside agent involved in the build of your home?
When you're thinking about buying a house.
And why is that?
Because we can guide you through the entire process, even from the beginning, and give you tips, just like we're talking about the professional advice. If you're thinking about it a year from now, let's get your credit in tip-top shape. Let's start interviewing the right buyers. We can sit down and talk. Okay.
Builders?
Yes, builders. Let's sit down and talk. Do we want to try to find a custom builder? They're not as common out there right now. Or are we okay with a spec home? What areas do we want? Okay. Talk through white cabinets, for example. The design center for my cabinets, they were awesome. Like, hey, are you sure you want to do white? They're really dirty. I'm like, yep, for sure want to do, or not really dirty. They show dirty.
They get dirty, yeah.
And it's just really nice to have really good people, and that's us. Yeah. We're going to tell you all that, especially because we've had tons of experience. Yeah. So not just with the new building, in existing homes and remodels too. Yeah. So we're going to talk you through all of those too and put together a game plan of what the best home for you is. Same thing. I think a lot of even agents out there forget to tell you that typically with new construction homes, you don't get blinds, which can be expensive if you have a ton of windows. Yep. And then you've got the expense of your landscaping, which can also get expensive too. So
don't think about that.
I know this is about building, but maybe existing is probably maybe in your benefit. And we don't know. Let's sit down and talk. That's why I think as soon as you start thinking about moving, let's start the conversation. And then really when you get excited about it and you're like, oh, we're just going to pop in and see these homes, just send us a text and like, hey, I'm looking at XYZ builder. Can you find out what's available? And on our side, we actually register you with the builder. So then we can help you through the process. And that they know that we're your agent when the time comes.
The vast majority of builders, and this is just because it does end up saving them money in the long run. It doesn't save you money.
Nope.
It saves them money. If you don't have an agent come with you the first time you contact that builder, we can't help you.
Yep.
Legally, we're not even supposed to give you advice or answer questions. Like I had somebody reach out to me the other day. I don't want anybody to feel called out, but I've had this happen multiple times now. Reach out to me after they've already signed with a builder and ask me questions and advice.
And it's so hard.
Technically, I'm not supposed to give you any kind of advice. I'm not supposed to help you in any way because then I'm what's called implied agency. That is illegal in the state of Utah. You're not allowed to have an implied agency. That's why we have you sign a contract with us because it protects you and it protects us. We don't want to lose our licenses. Yep. We want to help you to the best of our abilities. Come to us. We'll sign an agency agreement. I will look at however many builders. I'll look at however many houses you want to look at. You are not inconveniencing me. That's what I love. I have a connection with multiple builders. If it's not somebody that I know, let's go find out. I'm willing to learn their process, and I want to meet more builders and see more homes. And like you're not inconveniencing us at all by asking us to go.
This is what we do.
Yeah, see a home with you. Because if you go without us, we can no longer represent you, and we really can't help you. So it's so important to contact us beforehand. And some builders do charge more, but the vast majority, and I'm telling you right now, all of the builders that we know, that we love, that are good builders, that provide a good product and good service.
They want you to have an agent.
They want you to have an agent, and it doesn't cost you any more or any less to have an agent. To not have an agent only saves them money. It does not save you money.
Okay. So I feel like you're super serious.
I am.
I want to share two things about our homes that we do love.
Oh, okay. All right. I love my 3-car garage.
Yes.
I filled it up with a bunch of crap. but I love my 3-car
But at
garage.
least you're not paying for a storage
Yes,
unit. I know so
exactly.
many people that don't have a garage and they pay for a storage unit. I'm like, no, let's get you a bigger home.
Yes, bigger home. And then I love my great room. How I have like a big space where everybody can gather, and I love my kitchen layout. And we've talked about it. Kaelee and I are very different when it comes to our kitchen sinks, and I love it that we're so different. So Kaelee doesn't mind it in the island because she likes looking at everybody and seeing everybody and talking to everybody while doing dishes stuff, and like it's part of her system. And she likes a single compartment sink. Huh?
Yes, the one big sink. Yes, yeah.
I need a 2-compartment sink. I need it. There is no question about it. 2-compartment apron sink. That's my thing. And absolutely not in the island. I don't want it anywhere near the island. I don't want anything interrupting my island. I want one flat slab of granite.
Now that I've had one slab of granite and do a little bit more entertaining, I do agree with it being on the outside. But when I was building, so she's more referencing when I was building, I wanted it in the island. And it would have ruined the flow because I've got like overhead shelves and everything.
Yeah.
It would have ruined the flow, but now I do love it. I am with you on the same page.
You're coming around?
The big
Okay.
Open, yes.
I'm like, I don't want it in the island. Some people love it. It's fine. That's fine. I don't want it. So I love my kitchen layout, the way it's laid out at the kitchen. I can look out. I wanted to be looking out the window, out my kitchen sink. That's what I want. So yeah, that's what do you love about yours?
My kitchen.
Your kitchen?
For sure. Yeah. That was, this is where it goes back to having that third person, like, okay, where do we want to allocate the funds that you do have? Mine was dumped into my kitchen for sure.
Yes,
yeah,
your stove is beautiful.
Yeah, the stove that is the most expensive storage
call.
spot. Because I just put my cans in that oven. Anyway, so yes, kitchen, and then I think I really do love our backyard. So we're up on the hill, but we've got mostly a flat yard area. We do have like a retaining wall, but the yard part is flat.
Is
we
fun.
spent some time out there yesterday, and I do love that. So those are my top 2 favorite things. Yeah. There's a lot in my kitchen.
So what is something you would do differently in your house? No.
I would have made my pantry bigger. Because that was the one custom thing that I did change. I actually added a pantry in there. No, I take that back. My laundry room is tiny. I hate it. I would change that.
The laundry room?
Yep.
What if you need multiple things? What multiple things? I'm not limiting you to one. What multiple things would you change? Bigger laundry room?
Yeah, bigger laundry room, pantry. Oh, upstairs, my kids have huge bedrooms. I think it's a little silly. It'll be nice when they're teenagers, but it's silly now. So I don't know if I'd totally change that, but yeah, I actually really like my house. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I'd change.
I tell this story if you are our clients and you've already heard this story, probably, why I get so excited. If you watch any of our videos, you know why I get so excited about linen closets. There is nary a linen closet in my house. I don't know how I missed it. There is not a linen closet in my house. So I would have dedicated linen closets in my house.
It'd be nice. Storage.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
New construction's coming back around.
It is.
They're adding more storage unit or storage closets.
100%. And then I would have put more money into. I would spend whatever I could have to have a powder room, half bath. Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Separate from the bathroom that would be my kid's bathroom. Like I want a separate space, and I didn't realize how important that would be to me. But I love to entertain. I love people coming over to my house, and I want it
don't
separate.
Get naked. It's weird. I love that sign. I've always wanted that sign, but I don't have a half bathroom, so it doesn't make sense.
Have you guys seen the Pinterest thing where it's a kitchen sign that says "always lickable"? Oh they put it in the bathroom.
It's awesome.
It's horrifying.
If you guys have any other topics that you want us to cover, and you can do the raw side, or we can script it out a little bit so we're a little more on point, comment below what you guys want us to cover.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it. We love making these videos. Tell us if you like this format where we're just a little bit more casual, talking into the microphone.
Clip it this way.
And remember that we're Kaelee and Jesse, the Key Utah Realtors here in Utah with KW Success.
The key to your success.
Heck yeah. Bye, guys. Bye. That was dope.
Yeah.